fire. T4. It's a tape fire.
Hey everyone, this is my contribution to Vinyl Tag 2021. Here we go. Discovery in 2020. That is going to be Chica Loyo. She is a French artist, and she combines elements of experimental music, flirts with pop, a little bit of folk, and it can be eerie, and it's wonderful. And she's got a new album coming out this Friday, January 15th. So that's Chica Loyo. Quarantine Vibe. It's going to be 50 Foot Hoses Cauldron. They are a 60s psychedelic band, and most noted for being one of the first bands to combine electronic sounds into their rock music. And this is a modern harmonic reissue, by the way, which sounds excellent. LP you want to find in 2021. Now I know these are out there and available, and I can't find them. They're just kind of out of my price range often, but it's going to be No Means No, Live and Cuddly. It's a live album. And No Means No are a Canadian. They get lumped into punk, but I think they're much more than that. To me anyways, they are. So it's going to be No Means No's, Live and Cuddly. Box set. This is Jane's Addiction's Sterling Spoon. It includes Nothing Shocking, Ritual de la Habitual, Kettle Whistle, and then Kettle Whistle is basically B-sides and things like that, and then it includes a live album from the Ritual de la Habitual era. Concept album is going to be L'Orange and Mr. Lift's Life and Death of Scenery. This takes place in a not so distant future, which is a dystopian future. As you can see, everyone looks the same there and is in lockstep in this future. And what they're fighting against is making art matter, because art does not matter in this future, and free speech isn't valued, art isn't valued, and that's what they're up against. So this is on Mellow Music Group. Check this out if you like hip-hop. You'll love this album where artist or band change directions. I'm going to say Suicide's second album, produced with Rick Ocasek. It took a decidedly cleaner and more closer to pop angle, you know, because their first one, self-titled, is just like one of the greatest albums of all time, I think, but gritty, loud, snarly, on the verge of going off the rails, and I love it. But this is their second one. A white label promo is going to be Vibrators Pure Mania, which this is the American pressing. Someone in the comments some videos back told me that the American pressing is pressed hotter than the UK pressing, so I have the US pressing. Compilation album is going to be Funky 16 Corners. It's a Stone's Throw compilation. Stone's Throw puts out really good funk comps. Gritty, funky funk. Just gotta listen to it for yourself. 2 LPs. Then we have a album that needs a vinyl pressing. Well, there's 2 pressings of this album, Disco Volante by Mr. Bungle. However, one omits a song. The other one includes that song in an additional 7-inch. And really what I think this album needs is a proper pressing, which to me would be, it would span over 2 LPs. So yes, Warner Brothers, if you could get on that, it'd be appreciated. And hopefully this isn't one of the, isn't some of the masters that burn up in that fire. I hope not. But I would love to see a proper pressing of this. Then we got a common album and an uncommon album. So a common album, but phenomenal album, is Prince's Purple Rain. All familiar with it. Fantastic album. Not so common album that I got this year was Cuas Sang. They are a Spanish band via Spain, combined elements of krautrock, psychedelic, ritualistic sounding stuff, noise, and it's haunting, and it's good. And we have an EP, so I have steel pole bathtubs, some cocktail suggestions to show you. This is some of Dale Flatham's art. There's the back. San Francisco noise rock band, most prevalent in the 90s. Love this stuff. Then we're going to have a girl group. So this is the UK group, Girl Ray. They're a trio, and they just make really good pop music, I would say. But not your typical pop, not like the drivel you hear on other pop stations, you know. So, album cover you love is going to be Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Ghosteen. Beautiful, beautiful cover, beautiful album. Love that shot. This cover painting I love is like, reminds me of the Hudson Valley School of Painters in New York. Album listened to most, I'm not sure about this year, but since I've had turntable and records, I know it's this one, which is Songs from a Room by Leonard Cohen, and I probably did listen to this most this year, I'm not sure though, but all time, definitely. I actually need to replace this. This is an OG. Album you'd like to get an OG copy of. I don't get too hung up on the OG thing. I'm more about the best pressing that I can afford, but I would love to have an OG of Bosis by Mercury Rev. Also, their other album from this era, Yourself Esteem, Lego My Ego. They're both out there, but they're pricey. Mercury Rev's Bosis. The last album you purchased is going to be Ornette Coleman's The Empty Foxhole. This is the 1994 Blue Note Connoisseur pressing audiophile. I found it sealed here recently, and I'm so glad I got this. And what's great about this is it includes his 10-year-old son, Ornette Jr., DiNardo on drums, and man, Charlie Hayden on bass, and what a invigorating and just fun album. Empty Foxhole, a punk album. So I didn't choose the typical 3 chords and a snarling singer punk album, but in philosophy, these two are punks. So Miles Davis and Jack Johnson, the boxer. Punk as it gets, if you ask me. Favorite 2020 reissue will be Rick Bain and the Genius Positions, Crooked Autumn Sun. This originally came out in 2000 and got its first vinyl pressing this year. It was released CD initially. And this is really good psychedelic pop out of the Pacific Northwest, released by Little Cloud Records out of Portland, Oregon. They're a good label. I recommend them. Check them out in their catalog. Good stuff. I'm realizing I skipped over one. I think it's an album that tells a story. And so that is going to be, let me get this download card out of the way. It's going to be Mike Watts Contemplating the Engine Room. Mike Watts' dad was a Navy man. So Mike Watt, he's originally born in Virginia, but really grew up in San Pedro, California. And so was around longshoremen and Navy people all his life. And so this is just tales of those people, and one of my favorite albums of all time. This is so good. So that is going to be my, I left another one out, dang it. So an album they don't get. So I'm not sure what they get and what they don't get, but here's a comfy pair of pajama bottoms, and here's a can of garbanzo beans. And I really do hope you're all well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.